What are the fastest ways to break the Golden Wolflord's shield? Today we're gonna find out which combination of geo attacks breaks it the fastest. Watch till the end of the video to see a special trick you can do to make breaking wolf heads much safer in case you don't have any geo on your team. I'm not a whale, so I don't have access to every character in the game, so this will be somewhat of a realistic test where we just use whatever's available to us. As you can see, Zhongli is the only geo character I have any reasonable amount of investment in. I've built my Zhongli to be an HP shield bot. We'll only be using characters who actually benefit us, which means we won't be using any very low level characters who just die in one hit and further add to frustration. We're also going to be talking about other team variations later on in this video. Everyone's guaranteed to have Geo Traveler on their account. Unfortunately, he's not the best at breaking these wolf heads, as it takes 2 hits of his skill to actually break a wolf head. It's not terrible time, about 6 seconds or so to break each wolf head, since you have to use your skill once, then you have to wait for the cooldown to use your skill a second time to break it. But if you have absolutely no choice, he's definitely not bad, he's just not the best at it. Zhongli is a character that I would say pretty much everyone wants, so people are more likely gonna pull for him and eventually get him at some point, seeing as the wishing system in this game has a guarantee for 5 stars but no guarantee for 4 stars. There may be some of you out there who have Zhongli but don't have any of the 4-star Geo characters. In that case, the only 2 Geo characters you might have are Zhongli and Geo Traveler. If you are in this situation, as long as you're able to put the 2 of them together in the team and not lose too much team damage, or if you invested into your Geo Traveler, then you're in a pretty good spot, as placing Zhongli's pillar down takes away 2/3 of the wolf head's durability, and you just switch to Geo Traveler and place his skill down, and that's enough to break a wolf head. You may also want to hold his skill, as the animation for placing the boulder down is much faster when holding his skill rather than just pressing it. I've never tried just pressing it, but I assume it may possibly spawn on top of the wolf head, and I'm afraid it might glitch out and not do any damage to it, so it's just better to hold his skill and place it next to the wolf head as I'm doing in this clip. Since I have Zhongli raised on this account, I'm definitely going to want to use him, especially since I'm running a Hu Tao double Geo team here. In this team, you'll have to run Zhongli and another Geo, so there is no shortage of Geo attacks. Placing Zhongli's pillar, as we've talked about previously, takes about 2/3 of the wolf head's durability, which means you'll only need 1 more Geo hit after placing Zhongli's pillar down, and on this team, that's Ningguang's normal attack. In case you have a team where your only Geo character is Zhongli, there is a little trick you can do to make it so you only have to place his pillar down once to break each wolf head. It's a bit fiddly though, so you may need some practice and a bit of luck, as it's pretty easy to either miss or place it too close to where the pillar will break. You have to place his pillar at the exact distance from the wolf head, where it'll take the hit from placing the pillar, but the pillar isn't right on top of the wolf head to make it disappear. This makes it so it does damage to the wolf head as you place it. It will then continue to pulse. If you notice in this shot, the first pulse doesn't actually do any damage, but the second pulse is what does damage and actually breaks the wolf head. I think this has something to do with ICD, or internal cooldown. If you guys don't know what it is, look it up. 1010 has quite a detailed video on the topic. I would actually advise against using Zhongli's hold skill, as its cooldown is about 10 seconds, and even if you break a wolf head with it, it takes you much less than 10 seconds to run over to the next wolf head, which means you'll have to be standing around waiting for your cooldown. But if you have Ningguang, then by all means go for it. Speaking of Ningguang, she's actually the best at breaking these as far as I can think of. She's the only Geo Catalyst user, which means her Geo application is unconditional. Any normal or charged attacks from her is Geo. In this shot, we're spamming her normal attacks, but it seems the third normal attack doesn't do any damage. I think this has something to do with ICD again, so if you just do the first 2 normal attacks and wait a bit before doing the third one, then the third one will do damage and break the wolf head. Her skill surprisingly only takes away 1/3 of the wolf head's durability, and occasionally it seems to spawn on top of the wolf head, which makes it so it doesn't do any damage at all. So if you're using Ningguang to break these wolf heads, you're better off sticking to her normal attacks. In the current Spiral Abyss rotation, March 2022, the Golden Wolflord is in Chamber 2 of Floor 12. Some people don't have any Geo on their strongest teams, which means you'll have to run through the Golden Wolflord in Chamber 2 without any Geo characters, so you can deal with Chamber 3 effectively. You can actually hide behind the wolf heads you're supposed to break, and they're gonna block the little black wolf projectiles or even the big brown ones that the Wolflord keeps shooting at you if you stand right behind it. It can even occasionally block the brown laser the Wolflord does, but it's kinda inconsistent depending on what the wolf head is doing, so I still recommend dodging that attack. I discovered it while trying to get 3 stars in Chamber 3 on my third account, so I hope you guys find it useful. Let me know what other videos like this you'd like to see more of in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.